Well, hello everybody. I am out today at a beautiful grassland habitat, and it's a pretty decent sized habitat. It's not as big as some others around, but I am out today with my sole purpose of photographing orchard orioles. It's a really neat species. They're the underrated cousins of the Baltimore oriole. They're still orange, but they're more of a rusty orange color. And I was here a week ago just hiking along, and I found like dozens of them in this habitat, and this is a perfect habitat for them. So you can see it's pretty grassy, pretty much grassland around, but then there's also pockets of some of these shrubs. So they like kind of the shrubby and the dense vegetation. This is a good spot for them to nest, and this is where I saw them. So I am out this afternoon hoping that they're still around so I can hopefully get some pictures of them, because they're a really nice looking bird. The males, like I said, are a rust colored orange, and then the females are kind of like a drab yellow, kind of an olive yellow color. But it is just alive right now with bird songs. There's bluebirds, there's all sorts of field sparrows, there's goldfinches, indigo buntings, so it's perfect. I just need to get back to the spot where I saw the orioles before. And I'm just enjoying all the sounds and all the wildflowers that are in this field right now. So let's get back there. All right, I'm back along the area that I saw all of the orchard orioles before, and now I'm just really hopeful that they're still going to be here. So this is a really nice area because this used to be agricultural fields, and now it's preserved and it's able to be maintained as a grassland, so they mow it once a year. So it really creates a really nice spot for birds, because grasslands are not common in the area anymore, especially in the Northeast. A lot of times the forests really want to take things over. I mean, the Northeast is meant to be a forest, but historically speaking, there's always been some grasslands as well. And these habitats are really important for a lot of birds because there's not many left. So, but you can see that there's kind of some brushy shrubby areas where things have kind of regrown. Some of the shrubs and trees, saplings grow, and this is a perfect spot for these orchard orioles. So I'm just going to continue along here and hopefully we find some. There's all sorts of goldfinch. It's not looking too good here. Okay, let me put this down so I can really concentrate and see if there's any that I'm just not hearing. Okay, how about this for completely shifting gears on you? I wasn't standing here more than 5 minutes. There's no sign of the orchard orioles, by the way, which is really unfortunate. But I was standing here listening and looking for them, and from across the field, a barred owl starts calling. So I'm not going to let that opportunity pass. So let's go see if we can find an owl. I'm just following. Luckily, there's a trail. Okay, that was an owl right there. Okay, I need to be quiet now. I will bring you along once I find it. Hold on. It's right in front of me. Okay. Just took off a little bit. flew a little bit farther into the woods. Just gonna follow the trail and go really quietly and slowly, hoping that there's gonna be a little bit of an opening in front of me here. Right now I have a lot of low pines right in front of me that I can't see through. There's another one right in front of me somewhere. You can hear it. It just did its alarm call. Wow. Okay. I hope you can hear that. It is right in front of me somewhere. Just gonna sit here quietly, because I'm pretty sure these are young owls, or at least there's an adult with a young owl, and I don't want to spook them. They're already wary of my presence because they're doing their alarm call. And I want to try to have them calm down a little bit. I think I know where it is in front of me, but it's behind a bunch of branches. Wow. I hope you can hear that on the mic. I might have to turn the volume up. But the adult is calling back here to my left. There's another one over here that I'm pretty sure is a juvenile. And there's at least one more juvenile in front of me this way that I heard it doing its begging call. Juvenile barred owls get fed by their parents all through the summer, and then pretty much all the way into the fall before they get sent on their way. So the young are still hanging out around their adults, their parents, I mean. So this is the time of year when there's a possibility of having a lot of owls in one spot, which is exactly what we're talking about right now. God, I love owls. I just really don't want to spook them. I'm really happy that I'm on a trail right now, so I can just follow this trail and stay really quiet and see if I can peer into the forest to try to find the adults. There's at least one adult this way, so. There's a juvenile right here somewhere. I haven't heard the other adult. Okay, no. Okay, I've moved a little bit farther down the trail. The adult that was back there behind me flew off farther down into the forest. I was just sitting there. I was waiting for the other adult to return its calls, and it did. way back in the forest. So the other owl took off and flew that way, and there was all sorts of commotion. So they must have met up somewhere, and they were calling back and forth, hooting and hollering at each other. But I went a little bit farther down the trail because there's still at least one juvenile in front of me somewhere. It's doing its begging call. I'm just afraid that it's really high up in a tree somewhere. So I'm going to try to find it. I'm just going to go quietly and slowly try to find it, and I'm hoping that since the juveniles are still over here, the adults might come back this way, unless the juvenile takes off and joins them, but I'm not really sure how it's going to work out. So right now what I can do is just try to find this juvenile. I think it's high up in a tree somewhere within 50 yards in front of me. So I'm going to try to do that, try to locate them, and we'll see what happens. It's right in front of me somewhere. And I think it's high up in the tree. As much as I wanted to get the photo of the owl, I felt that my presence there was doing more harm than good, especially knowing that most of the mortality of young barred owls, as well as birds of prey, is due to starvation. And if me sitting there, I might cause the parents to not come back and feed this owl at the moment. And for all I know, this owl could be starving. So I backed away slowly, knowing that the owl was high up in the tree and I wasn't going to get the photo I wanted anyway. That way, hopefully this owl can get fed and I can come back another day and get a photo of it when it's fully grown. This is such a vulnerable part of many of these birds' lives because they're just newly fledged. They're trying to figure out the world and trying to figure out how to hunt for themselves. I'm a little disappointed, but I also didn't want to cause more harm than good for this owl. I know that it's way up there in the trees. It was probably 20 yards in front of me, and there's all these big oaks right in front of me, and it was way up there. Heard it begging high up, so I'm not going to get a photo of it anyway. There's too many leaves up there, so I just wanted to back away and just try to not disturb it. It sounds like the adults are back that way. There were two owls right over here, and I don't know if there is a juvenile there as well with the adult. I don't know, but everything's gone quiet over here now. So I'm just gonna try to figure out what my next game plan is here, because I went from doing orchard orioles, failing at that because they're not here, or at least not right here. And then there are the owls that came out of nowhere, and then they kind of are not in the right spot to get any photos. So I think I'm actually going to go back out to the grasslands, to the field out here, and see if I can find anything out that way. The light's getting really nice now. It's 7:30 in the evening, which is perfect this time of year. Man, that was exciting, but also disappointing. But that's kind of wildlife photography for you. But you kind of need to be able to pivot if things aren't working out the right when you planned. If you find another opportunity, you got to be able to kind of switch gears quickly and go for that opportunity, even though it might not pan out. You never know. So, especially if owls are calling, it's one of the easiest ways to find owls is when they're hooting. And almost had a good opportunity. So let's head back out to the field and see if I can find some stuff. There's definitely still a lot of birds calling out there. So let's see if we can get something. It's just such a nice night to be out. And even if I don't come away with any photos today, still had that awesome experience with the owl. I mean, that was 3 owls in one spot. Even if you don't get a picture of them, just seeing 3 owls, even if it's just a short little glimpse, is just, it's better than a day with no owls, so. There's a doe right in front of me in this tall grass. There it is again. I have like no light. Just trying not to make eye contact with it. So I was leaving the spot where I saw that one deer because I hadn't seen it for about 10 minutes. And I wanted to use all the available light that I had left to try to find some other animals to photograph. And as I moved not 10 feet back down the trail, I found the deer again. And I actually was able to get a few photos of it. It's a photo I've actually wanted for a long time now. This section of the field is always so nice with this grass. And I've always wanted a photo with the deer, just its head sticking out of the grass. And I kind of got it today. I was hoping the deer would come a little bit closer towards me so it wasn't so obscured with the grass, but I think it's still a nice photo. Hopefully it turns out good. And actually, as I was leaving that deer, because I didn't want to disturb it, I was really happy I left it. It was still there. As I was walking down the trail a little bit farther, 2 more deer crossed in front of me. I was able to get a few pictures of them. They're not very good, they're blurry because I have my shutter speed way down photographing the deer in the grass. And So there's a lot of motion blur. I mean, they took off and jumped across the trail in front of me. So, but it was still really neat to see. Now I'm gonna just keep continuing down this trail. There's a pretty good amount of field that's still gonna be around me, and there could be more deer out. So I'm gonna try to use the available light that I have to maybe get some good photos. But I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Had a bit of a mixed bag here today. Started coming out here, tried to photograph the orchard orioles. Didn't have any success with that, but then we found the barred owls. They were flying around like crazy. Didn't have any success with that, but I was still able to hopefully get some success with these deer photos. So you never really know what you might get when you come out, but it was just still a really nice day to be out, nice evening to be out. I kind of really needed this because I've been kind of in a slump lately, just not really having much motivation to put these videos together, and this has really definitely helped get me out of it. So I'm going to continue on. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. Hit that like button, give me a comment. It really helps with boosting my channel to hopefully get more viewers. I know it's a thing every YouTuber says, but it really would help, and I'd really appreciate it. So I'll see you in the next video, and thank you so much for watching.